Top 10 cheapest countries to live in Africa. European countries are the highly sought-after destinations for immigrants from around the world. The continent offers opportunities and a standard of living like nowhere else. Like the saying goes, however, not all that glitters is gold. Immigrants, especially those from Africa, put so much effort into moving there that they soon discover it's a different world entirely from the one they were told. Amazingly, some of these immigrants pass through countries such as Tunisia and Egypt on their way to Europe. Unknown to many, these African countries offer some of the cheapest cost of living in the world. Presently, Norway and Switzerland are the second and first most expensive countries in the world to live in respectively, just as with most countries in Europe. African countries may not offer much in the way of opportunities and amenities that Europe offers, but they offer a cheap cost of living. So, in today's video, we bring you the top 10 countries in Africa with lower costs of living. You will be amazed. Number 10. Kenya. Kenya is a country in Eastern Africa, and the 48th largest country in the world by total area. In our ranking, Kenya happens to be the 10th least expensive country to live in Africa. The country has a cost of living index of 39.26. Although your lifestyle and choice of wares and amenities could alter your expenses, Kenya remains relatively cheap. The country is rated as being 45% cheaper than the USA, and Nairobi, its largest city, is 50% cheaper than London. On average, the cost of living in Kenya ranges from $700 to $2,500 per month. Number 9. Zambia. Occupying the 9th spot for the least expensive country in Africa is Zambia. The southern African country, considered by many to be one of the most stunning, friendly, varied, and untouched countries in Africa, has a cost of living index, or CEI, of 35.59. Although the cost of living in the country is relatively high compared to some of its neighbors, it is still one of the cheapest countries in the world. As a landlocked country, Zambia imports most of its products from its neighbors, making them significantly costlier. The average cost of living in the country is around $600 to $1,200 depending on the size of the family and lifestyle. Number 8. Tanzania. Tanzania is the 13th largest country in Africa, and just like Kenya, is situated in East Africa. With a CEI of 35.07, Tanzania comes in as the 8th least expensive country in Africa. The country is home to some of Africa's most majestic game reserves, and its tallest mountain. The cost of living in the country varies, with its largest city, Dar es Salaam, having a higher cost of living than other parts of the country. On average, however, Tanzania remains a relatively inexpensive country. Cost of living in the country could average between $700 to $1,800. Number 7. Morocco. Officially known as the Kingdom of Morocco, this country not only offers some of the best standards of living in Africa, it does so at a relatively cheap cost. The cost of living index of Morocco is pegged at 34.59, making it one of the cheapest places on earth to live in. This laid-back and beautiful country is one of Africa's wealthiest, and has some of its most spectacular scenery. While the cost of amenities like accommodation, transportation, and utilities can vary depending on the city, food is generally cheap. Number 6. Rwanda. Rwanda is a small landlocked country in East-Central Africa. Being a country that has been dubbed the Singapore of Africa, Rwanda is one of Africa's fastest-growing economies. The East African country is the 6th cheapest place to live on the continent, and has a CEI of 34.01. The small country also has the fastest-growing economy in Africa, and 3rd in the world right now at an 8.7% growth rate. Number 5. Nigeria. Africa's largest economy, and its wealthiest, Nigeria is the 5th least expensive country to live in Africa. Outside the traditional playground for the rich in parts of Lagos and Abuja, the rest of the country has a relatively low cost of living. With more than half its population living in extreme poverty, the government has had to subsidize the price of some basic commodities. Nigeria's CEI is 31.75, making it one of the least expensive places on earth to live. Number 4, Uganda. The small Central African country is nicknamed the Pearl of Africa. The country gets its nickname from the bodies of water abound its borders. The country, despite all its beauty, remains one of the cheapest places to live in Africa. The country's CEI is 31.72, making it the fourth cheapest place to live in Africa. Number 3, Algeria. Officially known as the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, this North African country is considered the largest country on the entire African continent, and the 10th largest in the world. The country is famous for producing some of the best dates in the world. Algeria is ranked as the third least expensive place to live in Africa. It has a CEI of 30.54. Algeria is one of a handful of countries that have achieved a 20% poverty reduction in the past 2 decades. The Algerian government took significant steps to improve the well-being of its people by implementing social policies in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The country's oil boom has enabled the government to service Algeria's external debt, invest in infrastructure projects, and improve the country's human development indicators. The country also offers free healthcare to its citizens. Number 2, Egypt. Egypt is one country that may not strike you as being inexpensive given its large tourism market. Egypt is a country for both adventure and history lovers alike. It offers some of the world's most amazing wonders along with natural beauty and ancient temples and tombs. The North African country has a CEI of 29.09. In addition to a low cost of living, investment opportunities by way of real estate are also growing in appeal. This has led to a boom in Egypt's real estate. Housing is, however, relatively cheap in the country. Number 1, Tunisia. Finally, we arrive at Africa's least expensive location. It is the small, beautiful Mediterranean nation of Tunisia. The country is Africa's least expensive, and the 5th least expensive place in the world. With a population of close to 12 million people, Tunisia has a CEI of 25.43. Food and housing are relatively cheap in the country, and the country is considered 94 times cheaper to live in than New York. There you have it. Africa's least expensive countries to live in. Do you live in any of these countries, or have you visited any before? If you have, share your thoughts with us about costs and expenses in any of the countries in the comments section. If you are not yet subscribed to Positive Africa, then you might consider doing so now so you never miss out on an episode of our videos about Africa. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.